Hi everyone. So I thought that this video was really interesting because while I was watching the video, I saw multiple things that I could relate what I learned to this class with the video. So with that being said, the strengths that I can see in Moises and his family, for his family, it seems like they have a very tight bond and they encourage each other. This is shown through how during the breakfast, um, when they heard that Moises had a big test today, they wanted him to eat more so he can do well on it. So that kind of shows how they valued education. And later on, while Moises' dad was working as a custodian in the school, um, he went to Moises during lunch and kind of encouraged him that way and talked to him for a little bit. And it was the same thing while Moises was taking the test, while he was washing the windows. He give him like a thumbs up and like, you got this. And I thought it showed how they have a tight bond and like they encourage each other and value education. Moises, his strength in my opinion is his determination. He doesn't really understand English all that well, but he's determined to succeed, and this is shown because he still tries the math problems, and he even got one right and wanted to explain it to the class, but he couldn't. He just didn't have the language skills available too. It's also shown during recess how during the recess he was studying for the test because he wanted to do well on it. And when his friend was like, "Hey, we should just skip," he was like, "No, I want to take this test," and he's determined to because he wants to see if he can succeed. And I feel like that's a very good strength of his. For how Miss Peterson could position Moises more equitably, I thought that using group work to build substantive conversation would be a great way to build position Moises more equitably. This is because we saw that he had a peer, the girl that sat right next to him, that would kind of like relay information and act as kind of an interpreter for him. And even though this is something that you don't really want students being like the main interpreter for a student, but during group work this could be very helpful because in the lesson it was more just Miss Peterson talking to the students instead of letting them talk problems out and figure things out. So group work could be helpful if he's paired with the girl that kind of helped him out and was nice to him, because he'd get clarification on context and clues of what they are talking about, and he can relate information he already knows to that context, and it could help him out with problems and in the future building language. The concept and skill for this course that sticks with me the most is using like a can-do approach and like a strength-based approach. This is because I like how it focuses on what the students can do rather than what they can't do. And you can use what they can do to build on things that they can't do. So with Moises' case, he's really good at math. So as a teacher, or more specifically an ESOL teacher, you would want to look at that and be like, hey, we can maybe break down word problems with him, math word problems, get him to solve the problem, as well as look at the language in the problem. And this could be a way to build his secondary language acquisition. I can apply this in my classroom by looking at students that are struggling and seeing, well, what do they do good? They do X, Y, and Z. And I can take those things that they do good and use it to build on them more, to further their second language acquisition. If a student in my class really understands a particular topic, I can use that topic and make a story around it, or a word, or like a paragraph, and have him break that down because he already knows the context well of the topic. So I think using strength-based approach is something that will be helpful for me in the future.